What are the things that actually give your life depth and meaning? This is what alignment is, to live in alignment. Welcome to this episode of Sanctum, the Conscious Eye Life. What is missing? Yes, what is missing? In this episode, I will be talking about alignment. I love talking about alignment, and I've done quite a few episodes on alignment, but it's so important. That's why I keep talking about alignment. What is alignment? Well, alignment, when it comes to the bespoke holistic advisory, is actually living with clarity, living with intentionality. What do we really care about? What are our core values? What are your standards? What are the things that actually give your life depth and meaning? This is what alignment is, to live in alignment, is to live according to what you deeply care about, whether it's your core values, whether it's your standards. We all have different standards. And part of what I do in the bespoke holistic advisory with client is guide them strategically to understand, what do they deeply care about? What are the values? Because once you know what you care about, what your values are, you can begin to live in alignment with them. If you don't know what your core values are, if you don't know what your standards are, if you don't know what you care about, how can you live in alignment with them? Most of the time, people don't have a roadmap. Alignment is like having a compass, it's a map for how you choose to live your life, the things that you really care about, the things that you deeply love, the things that you deeply care about, the things that you deeply connect with. Whether that's even playing golf. Sometimes people don't really understand what they deeply care about, what gives their life meaning, what gives them vitality. For example, maybe golf is something that you enjoy playing, but you also connect with your friends or the people, your golf mates, when you're playing golf. And all the things that come from that might be something that is deeply meaningful to you. And this is something that's part of your values, is really doing the things that you love, such as playing golf. So part of what I do is guiding strategically and counseling clients to discover what they are, to discover what they really care about, to discover what they deeply care about, to discover their standards, to discover who they are sometimes. It's like, who are you and what are you becoming? Sometimes we're going from who we are to someone that we're becoming. And when we understand who we are now and who we are becoming, it is easy for us to move in between those two states. And it's easy for us to be in between. The in between state sometimes can be challenging for people. But when you understand that you're going from who you are to who you're becoming, with guidance and strategic systems, you can allow the process in a way where it's aligned with what your values are, whether that's to do it in an empowered, joyful, easy way, whether that's to do it in a way that is strategic, is routine, is disciplined. We all have different core values. We all have different standards. And once we identify that, we can begin to live uniquely as who we are. This is what happens in the bespoke holistic advisory, where I guide one-to-one clientele exclusively in a private container. I work with select clientele only. So this is by invitation and referral only. If this is something you're interested in, there is in the podcast, there will be a link to request an invitation, and I do not respond to everyone. If this is something that aligns with me, with what I do, then you will receive a response, and we can begin to guide you on what are your core values and create systems and strategy in place for what you care about, for maybe even what your legacy is, what are you leaving, what are you going to leave behind. But most times, it's not just what you're leaving behind, but also what you're leaving in this moment. So it is a deep process of excavation of what your core values are, what you deeply care about, so that you have a map to live uniquely as you, to live accordingly to who you are and what you deeply care about. This is really what alignment is. It's a map. It's a system for navigating your life, not anybody's life, your life, the way you choose, the way that makes sense, that is deeply meaningful to you, that you care about in a way where you're actually living, not just existing or working or chasing or doing the other things, but you're living in your own unique way. It's been lovely to share this podcast of Sanctum, the conscious I life. What is missing? And as I love to say, what if nothing is missing? What if it's just the end of a chapter and the beginning of a chapter? And this might be what it is for you, the end of a chapter and the beginning of a chapter. So if this is the beginning of a chapter for you to know what your core values are, to discover your standards, to discover what you deeply care about, what is meaningful for you. Part of what this allows you to do as well is to understand what your boundaries are, what you value, how to appreciate yourself, how to value your resources and your time. So it's been lovely to share this podcast of Sanctum, the Conscious I Life. What is missing with you? Have a great day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next episode.